The process of European colonization of Africa began in the late 19th century, and over the course of several decades, most of the continent was colonized by European powers. The process was not a straightforward one, and it involved a complex interplay of political, economic, and technological factors that helped the Europeans to conquer Africa relatively quickly. One of the key factors that enabled the Europeans to conquer Africa quickly was their superior military technology. In the late 19th century, European powers had access to modern firearms and artillery, while many African societies still relied on traditional weapons such as spears and bows. This technological advantage allowed the Europeans to quickly defeat many African armies and to establish control over large areas of territory. Another factor that contributed to European success in Africa was political fragmentation. Many African societies were divided into multiple small kingdoms or chiefdoms, which made it easier for the Europeans to conquer them one by one. Additionally, the Europeans were able to take advantage of existing political rivalries and tensions between different African societies to further their own interests. Economic factors also played a role in the European conquest of Africa. European countries were looking to expand their economies and acquire new resources, and Africa offered abundant natural resources such as gold, diamonds, and rubber. The Europeans were also interested in establishing colonies in Africa as a source of cheap labor and as a market for their own goods. Finally, European powers used diplomacy and treaties to gain control over African territories. They signed treaties with African leaders that often gave them significant control over the territory in question. However, these treaties were often unfair and gave little consideration to the rights and interests of African societies. In conclusion, the European conquest of Africa was driven by a combination of factors, including superior military technology, political fragmentation, economic interests, and diplomatic maneuvers. These factors allowed the Europeans to conquer Africa relatively quickly, but the process was marked by significant violence, exploitation, and suffering. The legacy of European colonization continues to shape African societies and politics to this day.